Welcome to Journey Through Era, your go-to channel for uncovering the most fascinating and mind-boggling events from history. Today, we're diving into one of the strangest episodes ever recorded, the Dancing Plague of 1518. What would you do if your neighbors suddenly couldn't stop dancing, not for fun, but as if possessed by an uncontrollable force? It sounds like something out of a horror movie, but for the people of Strasbourg in 1518, this was their grim reality. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more wild stories from history. Now let's dive right into it. It all began in July 1518 when a woman named Frau Trophäa stepped into the streets and began to dance. At first, people were amused. Maybe Frau Trophäa had a little too much wine, or perhaps she was trying to entertain herself. But as the hours stretched into days, it became clear that this wasn't ordinary dancing. She didn't stop, not for food, water, and not for rest. Soon, others joined in, whether out of compulsion, sympathy, or something unknown. Within days, other townsfolk began joining her, and not willingly, men, women, and even children were gripped by the same bizarre compulsion, their feet moving frantically as if controlled by some dark magic. By the end of the week, over 30 people were dancing uncontrollably. Within a month, the number swelled to more than 400. The dance fever spread like wildfire. The victims were in visible distress. Their bodies convulsed uncontrollably, their limbs twisted unnaturally, and their sweat-drenched clothes clung to their trembling forms. Witnesses described them bleeding into their shoes as blood pooled in their swollen feet. Some cried out for help, but they couldn't stop. Many collapsed from exhaustion, dehydration, or malnutrition. Others suffered heart attacks or strokes. At its peak, the dancing plague claimed up to 15 lives per day. The total death toll remains unknown, but the event left a haunting mark on the city. Understandably, the people of Strasbourg were desperate for answers. Doctors, influenced by the medieval theory of humors, believed the condition was caused by hot blood, an overheating of the body. Their solution was to encourage the dancers to dance it out. They cleared public spaces, hired musicians, and even brought in professional dancers to guide the afflicted. But instead of resolving the crisis, this only made things worse. As the music seemed to drive more people into the frenzy, religious leaders offered another explanation: divine punishment. Some believed that the plague was a curse from Saint Vitus, a patron saint said to punish sinners with uncontrollable movement. To atone, the remaining dancers were eventually taken to a shrine on a nearby mountain. There, they prayed for forgiveness and underwent religious rituals in hopes of breaking the curse. Another popular theory is that the victims were poisoned by ergot, a hallucinogenic mold that grows on rye bread. Ergot can cause convulsions, hallucinations, and muscle spasms, which align with the symptoms observed during the plague. There's also the theory that the people of Strasbourg were under so much stress, from famine, disease, and political instability, that their fear and anxiety boiled over into mass hysteria. It might seem hard to imagine, but when a group of people is caught in the same heightened emotional state, their reactions can take a bizarre and physical form. By early September 1518, the outbreak finally began to subside. Just as mysteriously as it had begun, the afflicted were left physically and emotionally broken, and Strasbourg itself was forever changed by the tragedy. No one knows exactly how or why the plague ended, leaving this bizarre historical event shrouded in mystery. Thank you for watching Journey Through Era. What do you think caused the dancing plague? Was it stress, ergot poisoning, religion, or something else entirely? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And while you're here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more captivating captivating historical tales. Fun fact, did you know that similar outbreaks of uncontrollable dancing were reported in other parts of medieval Europe, including Germany and Switzerland? Though none were as deadly as Strasbourg's tragedy, they remain some of history's most puzzling phenomena. Stay tuned for our next video, where we'll uncover the unbelievable case of the woman who sued God for negligence.